How to tell if your hair needs moisture or protein. So breakage is every relaxed natural girl's probably biggest concern, or at least in my opinion it should be, because if you are wondering why your hair is not growing, the answer is it is growing. It's just also breaking off. If you are not noticing hair growth, it's because your hair is breaking off, girl, and we all struggle with it, and I know that it is the bane of my existence. Like, why does my hair have to break off? And the answer is sometimes you are either moisture deficient or protein deficient, and it's hard to tell which one it is sometimes. Like, how are you supposed to know? And the problem with that is, if you try to remedy one of those problems with the wrong solution, you're going to cause more damage than good. So if you are loading your hair with protein when your hair, ooh, something made a noise over there. If you're loading your hair with protein when your hair doesn't need protein, you're gonna make your hair hard, unmanageable, brittle. It's gonna break off. If you're loading your hair with moisture when it needs protein and not moisture, you're going to give your hair moisture overload. How can you tell if your hair needs protein and if it needs moisture? A lot of you guys have probably heard of the AFG 2-step protein treatment, and I was using it, and for the longest time I had no idea why it wasn't working for me. It was making my hair so unmanageable. It seemed like it was making it break off more. Like, every time I go to comb it, do anything to it, it was just breaking off because it was so unmanageable and rough. And I couldn't figure out why until I realized. First of all, with the AFG protein treatment, the problem with that is that the moisturizer that they give you after you use the protein part is not, honestly, it's not good enough for relaxed or natural hair. We need a lot of moisture in our hair. Our hair will suck up that moisture, and the moisturizer that they give you, even though it makes my hair really soft, it's not doing the trick, because after you do protein, you need to rebalance it with moisture. You've got to keep that balance. And so with the moisturizer that they give you, you're not restoring the moisture to your hair, and so your hair is still going to be brittle, it's gonna break off and all that stuff. But that is a whole another story. I don't know why I just went off on a tangent, just thought I should share. Anyways, in order to know if your hair needs protein or moisture, first of all, you need to do a little test. This little test is, in the morning or whenever you're getting ready, brush your hair or comb your hair over the sink and see what strands, if strands are falling off. If they are short little, if they are longer pieces, that's your hair shedding. Your hair is gonna shed. Don't worry about it. If they are shorter pieces, that is your hair breaking off. And you want to make a mental note of how much hair is breaking off in the sink, and then that night you're gonna do a little moisturizing trick. So for the purpose of the experiment, you're only going to need to moisturize your ends. We're not really worried about the rest of the hair. The ends are what is breaking off. So you want to moisturize and seal your ends as normal. Put a leave-in conditioner, a nice thick leave-in conditioner on there. Seal it with an oil. Do whatever normal moisturizing routine you would do to your hair, and then wrap it up with saran wrap, plastic wrap, and then you're going to, put your hair up as normal and go to sleep overnight. That saran wrap is going to seal in that moisture. It's going to make sure that that moisture gets deep into your hair, and so there's no question that your hair is getting the moisture that it needs overnight. Your hair does not need to be soaking wet for this, because again, there's such a thing as too much moisture, and your hair should never be wet all the time, because that's going to make your hair weak and break off and start a whole new set of problems. So just make sure that it's moisturized, saturated, but not overly saturated, and then go to bed as normal. In the morning, you're gonna comb your hair, and if your hair is still breaking off in the sink just as much, that means you need protein. If your hair, which I am willing to bet 90% of you, your hair is breaking off significantly less the next morning after you've moisturized, your hair just needs moisture. 9 times out of 10, you need moisture rather than protein. If you relax your hair, color your hair, ooh, my foot is falling asleep. Let's stand up, y'all. Ooh, my foot. I'm gonna talk to you like this, okay? Because my foot's asleep. If you relax your hair, color your hair, you probably do need a little protein, but you don't need it all the time. I think people go overboard with the protein and they're wanting to do protein treatments all the time, you know, every week, every wash day, whatever. That is unnecessary and even harmful. You really need to be doing a deep conditioning, deep moisturizing treatment every week, as well as moisturizing and sealing throughout the week. And then you can leave your protein treatments to, you know, every other week, once a month. I rarely do protein treatments because I've learned that my hair needs moisture. I do not moisturize. It seems like I can't moisturize enough. My hair can't get enough of the moisture. I need moisture, not necessarily protein treatments. Of course, there are times when you're going to have to fortify your hair's natural proteins with a protein treatment, but nothing so extreme as, for example, the Apogee treatment every week. Do not do, I can't stress that enough. Don't do that, you guys. You're gonna cause way more damage than good. Now, how to know if what you're using, if you're not using the Apogee that clearly says protein treatment, how to know if what you're using is moisturizing or a protein treatment? Because lots of conditioners and products say that they are protein treatments or say that they are moisturizing treatments, but you don't want to necessarily trust exactly what the label is saying, because some things are just making stuff up. Also be aware that anytime you put protein in your hair, you have to rebalance your hair with moisturizer. You need to keep a balance of protein and moisture in your hair, because if there's one or more, if there's more of one or the other, it's going to break off and you're not going to have healthy hair. So always remember that anytime you do a protein treatment, for example, if you're doing a homemade mask of avocado and honey and egg, anything like that that's going to strengthen your hair, you always want to make sure that you are doing a deep conditioning and deep moisturizing afterwards to rebalance your hair. That's the easy way of telling if your hair needs protein or moisture. It's a simple, easy trick. 9 times out of 10, you need more moisture, girl. Natural girls, relaxed girls, we all need to moisturize our hair more. I feel like that's an easy thing to neglect, because you're thinking, oh, if I'm protective styling, if I'm, you know, not using heat on it, I'm doing enough. But really, your hair needs more. Love your hair. Anyways, so that is my tip of the day, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to see more. So I will see you later. Bye bye.